Welcome back everyone to episode 3 of my survival series. Now continuing on from last episode, where we died in the nether and lost most of our stuff, I'd like to try and get some of that stuff back today and also make a little more progress. So what I'm thinking for today's episode, we will deck out this nether portal cave. We'll come over here. We'll make a stable where we can farm pigs, sheep, some cows, and probably some chickens. It'll be a nice little farmland area in this sort of dome shape. And we'll add some fields, we'll add pens for all the animals, and a large stable building probably right here. And later on, we'll come over to our enchanting cave and we'll start enchanting our tools and our armor once we actually get some. As you can see, I have an iron chest plate and some leather pants, which is not very good for this stage of the game. Just like last episode, I only have about 2 stacks of coarse dirt, and I'm gonna need a lot more for that. So I'm gonna go gather some dirt and some gravel, and I'll be back once I have materials. That way we can start building the layout for our little stable area right here. All right, we have most of the materials I'll need. I have some coarse dirt here, and we have a field of copper over here oxidizing. I want to get that nice teal green color. But for now, we can start working on our pathways and designing how this layout is going to look like for the stables. So first, we're going to make a little 3-wide path, just kind of bridging off from here. All right, now that we have our pathway out of coarse dirt leading up to this area over here, I'm going to make a nice oval shape out of coarse dirt. That way we surround the center of our pen and our stable over here with coarse dirt, kind of just like everybody's been walking through here and the animals have walked through here. And we'll have 2 pens kind of cutting into the edge of the mountain here for sheep and cows. And then inside the stable, I'm probably going to put pigs and chickens because those are less useful mobs. You can only really get feathers and eggs from chickens, and you just get pork chops from pigs, which you can also get steak from killing cows. So honestly, not really too much reason to have them other than just kind of completing the whole farm animal aesthetic. So now I'm going to get started on building this coarse dirt pavilion area. All the coarse dirt is placed in now, but this is kind of feeling a little cramped. So I'm going to take a little bit of this mountain away. That way we can add a few pens for our cows and sheeps because I was kind of overestimating how much space we had here. Okay, now that we got some basic terraforming done, it's time to start working on the pens. All right, so we got these stables here, one to house cows and one to house sheep. I actually had to go quite far to get these cows because, yeah, I kind of killed all the cows near me, but we have plenty of sheep near us, so that's nice. But the next thing on the agenda, start building the wheat field right here, kind of decorate it a little bit, and then we can start working on some decorations for the stables. Okay, I finished the wheat field. Well, technically, I need to fill in the rest of the wheat, but I don't have enough seeds, and we'll just get that done once all of this grows up, and then we'll get some more seeds. But I really like how this turned out. Got this nice little pathway that actually leads up to the mine here. Probably add some more details around here, just like some grass and flowers. But really nice. Can't wait to add all the wheat in here and see how it looks. But it frames this area really nice and fills in what would be otherwise an empty area. And from up here, it looks really sweet. We got a nice little hedge bush surrounding the whole field. And from up there, it also looks sweet. So this will supply us with all our wheat that we need to breed the sheep and the cows. And I'm actually considering adding in some goats and replacing them in the sheep enclosure, because I don't really like how the grass looks in there, and sheep need grass to grow their wool back. So we might end up doing that later on. I'm not going to do that right now. I want to add our stable next, which will look really cool. That will house our pigs and hopefully our chickens. I might actually make a chicken coop too. But for now, I'm going to go sleep. Then we'll get some resources to build our stable, and we'll get started on that. All right, I gathered up some materials and cleared out this space for our stable. So let's get started. Now this stable is going to be similar in style to our starter base. That way it kind of fits the theme around here. What I'm going to do is we're going to make a rectangle right here. And then that's a little more angular, that roof. And I want this one to be a little more curved. And then I'm going to add a tower in the back here with a nice little cone-shaped roof. And we'll be using that copper for that cone-shaped roof. To get started, I'm going to make a basic outline. So I'm going to start with our stone bricks here. And we'll just kind of come around here. So just small little stable. Actually, we'll expand it this way. Maybe one more block this way. That way it's a little larger. And this is actually an even number. It's 6 blocks wide in the middle. And because I want a center, I'm going to push this back even more. And then we'll check the center. All right, so the stable will be a 9x13 structure. And it's actually quite large. I don't know if I want to make it this large, but I think it'll look better larger than it will smaller. So we'll make it a little bit bigger. Next, we're going to take our stone bricks and just pile up like we did on the other build. The 4 blocks should do us good now. Oh, it's raining, of course. But the next thing we're going to do is just like that building over there. We're going to take our cobblestone and our tuff, add the tuff kind of towards the bottom because it's a little darker, and the cobblestone up towards the top because it's lighter. And that texturing will make us draw our eyes towards the top, because the darker colors are normally towards the bottoms on real buildings because of shade, and they're just out of the light a little bit more. So it'll look like we have some nice lighting too. Okay, so it just occurred to me that I've never really showed you guys how I do my texturing. So right here, I have the bottom row of tuff blocks, top row of cobblestone, and then I'll just come in here and kind of break some blocks that I think will look good to replace with cobblestone here. That way we kind of get a nice little broken pattern that blends quite well. See, it looks pretty good there. And then I'll come back in here, maybe add tough block there, tough block up here, bring one back in, you know, just kind of fiddle around with it. And there we go. We got some texturing done. Looks really nice. A lot better than that little line. And you can kind of see how it's broken up. And I'm kind of noticing a pattern, 1, 2, 1, 2, you know, that pattern right there. So I'm actually just going to break this, break that. And there we are. And then actually, I'll put a second tough block here. There we go. Liking that. Looks sweet. And we'll just kind of move on from there. Doesn't need to look perfect. The more you add and the more you fiddle with it, the more you're going to be like, oh shoot, I don't know how I like this. So I usually try and do like it pretty quickly. That way I don't psych myself out and be like, oh, this isn't good, or, you know, because there's no perfect way to texture. It's meant to look random, but you're using like super large blocks. So you just got to do the best you can. And honestly, I think that turned out pretty nice. So I'll do that for the rest of the sides, and then we'll get started on the top part. All right, the texturing is now finished, and I raised it up by a block so we can get started on the second floor. Okay, so I'm going to add some stairs over here. That way we can start building our overhang. Same on the other side. There we go. And then we can start placing our spruce logs. Now we will strip these logs because this texture is just infinitely better. And then we'll add some more pillars in the center here. That way we can break up this wall as well. Next, we'll take our oak logs and fill in this bottom row. And then we will also strip these logs. That way they match the oak plank texture a little bit better. And then we'll fill in the rest of the walls with some oak planks. All right, and I'm really liking how this has turned out so far. You can definitely see that we're taking a lot of inspiration from that. But the next thing that's going to happen is we're going to add a curved roof. And then after that, we'll add in the tower back here. All right, so I finished the roof, but my plans have changed. So I was originally going to add a tower. I tried it out, didn't really like it. So that's not going to be added in. And I won't be able to finish this in today's episode, unfortunately, because I kind of got a little too ahead of myself and thought I could finish this whole area around here with extra farms, custom greenery, super high level of detail in like a few days, because I'm actually leaving for vacation tomorrow. And this video will be pre-recorded, which it already is, and edited and then posted later on. So while you're watching this, it's been a few weeks since I made this video. But what I'm gonna do today is I'm gonna finish off this little pen area we have for our cows and our sheep. And then I'll probably add a custom tree or two, because it wouldn't be one of my videos now without it. Because for some reason, I just love to make custom trees. So I won't be able to get all the things I wanted to get done in today's episode, but that's okay. You know, everything doesn't have to go perfectly. Nothing has to go according to plan, as long as, you know, you get there in the end and you have fun, you don't stress yourself out. You know, it's just nice to enjoy the game and not stress myself out. So I'm gonna settle for that. I don't want to get too down about it, because we still have accomplished a lot in today's episode. We got this nice little pen here. We got a huge field, and we'll probably add a few trees over here, make it look nice, add some extra details in here just to finish this little section up. And then next episode, which will probably come out a little later than the 2-week schedule I'm trying to shoot for, unfortunately, because I am going to Greece for vacation, which will be fun, but you know, I also don't get to make a video, so you know, we'll see how that works out. But when I get back, we'll continue on the stable. I might lower it. It seems very tall right now, but I do like it. I also added these little details here, this little crane and this little loft thing where you would throw hay up there. But I want to add like a carrot and potato farm over here. And then I'm actually going to move these sheep over here so I can have like a little overhang and a nice big pen for them to roam around, because I don't like the grass in there. I'm going to detail it with some coarse dirt, some rooted dirt, and some packed mud. And then eventually I'll either move pigs or goats or llamas, I don't know, maybe horses, something in here, and the sheep will be over there. But for today, we're going to finish off these pens, add some custom trees, and add a few details, and then we'll wrap up the episode. Alright, so I finished the pens and added a tree. So let's have a full tour of this place. First of all, we've got our wheat field with some trees around. Those were already there, but super nice. Got a nice little coarse dirt path that winds through. And then we're up at the Mineshaft and we can come back down. Just a nice little shortcut. And then I decided to add a little wagon and some chests over here. Wanted to add a few things, but I don't know how this will 100% look when it's 100% done. So I didn't want to go too crazy just in case we had to tear some things down. Then we got our sheep pen here, and I textured the floor with some coarse dirt underneath here, and it kind of leads into this grassy area over here. Wow, those sheeps are loud. Okay. We got a water bowl here. We got some feeding troughs and extra hay. These are just composters filled up with a little bit of seeds. And then we got our coarse dirt, our rooted dirt, and then this packed mud. And I really like packed mud. Super easy to get, actually. You only need hay and mud. And yeah, nice texture there. Let me come across here. Same thing. We got feeding troughs, hay bales, water. I also added some leaves because it was looking kind of brown over here and wasn't super colorful. So I think that green just added a nice touch that kind of livens the place up. And then over here, the same thing. We got the little grassy patch. Now, while I was building this, you may have seen that I blocked off these areas so I could work on this without any mobs. But apparently, I figured out that the cows could escape there, and same thing over there with the sheeps. And I think like half of my cows and half of my sheep were on the mountain. Some of my sheep are still up there, but I had a lot more than I did cows. So I decided I'll just leave them up there. I might kill them later. I might just leave them there. Who knows? But I got most of my cows back because I didn't have that many to begin with. But yeah, that's really all. Oh, and then we have that tree. You know, wouldn't be a video of mine without a custom tree. Last 3 videos now, or last 2, this is the 3rd that I've built custom trees in, and I really just like the atmosphere that they add. Super nice, pretty simple. I think it looks really nice up here though. Kind of just adds a little more detail that's really nice. But that's all I can manage for today's episode before I go on vacation. I hope y'all enjoyed, and hopefully next episode we can get started on this and making this whole farming area look super complete and super awesome. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace!